Joining us for our Emmys Costume Designers panel is Marina Toybina from The Masked Singer. Marina, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, you have a background in music and concert sets, and you notoriously gave us Left Shark. Thank you very much. So how did that inform your work on The Masked Singer when you joined?
I think just Masked Singer in general is such an interesting platform that it really does kind of encompass everything that I started out with, which is fashion design. And then, of course, doing tours and doing tons of music videos and working a lot with musicians. I've kind of learned the idea of staging. And then from there, truly like switching my field from fashion into costuming. By being able to work on the Super Bowl and for the first time, kind of constructing the oversized live puppetry really gave me the platform to then take on a show like The Masked Singer, being able to work with any kind of fabrication, any kind of pressure to build the most unique costumes, I guess.
So I guess where do you even start with a new season? How do you come up with the creatures you want? And
Right.
Then how does the actual building of the costumes and the mask start?
Whenever we end the season, we kind of do a general overview to see what really worked for the show. Since it's such a phenomenon right now and it's worldwide, it's very challenging for me because it's like how many more animals are left to create or how many more characters can we produce. So we start out with the artwork. I do a lot of research to figure out what we previously did in a few seasons, kind of what the other shows are doing, what's really gaining this momentum of entertainment, what elements can I bring in from different avenues, like I said, of fashion, of couture, of costuming, and then probably it takes me about a month to do all the artwork. We gather with the producers, see what works for our show, what are we going to push for the following season, how much can we outdo ourselves, and then from there, once the casting happens and I work one-on-one with the talent, I start going into production.
So how do you build the masks, I guess? I think that's the biggest thing. And how do you make it comfortable for the talent when they're singing and, moving around out of there?
Season 1 was a great trial and error for us. Work a lot with L200 as far as creating a lightweight foam-based shape for each mask. We started out with kind of building wire structures to really see the silhouette of the mask. How oversized can we go? Where can I tone down certain shapes? Of course, everyone's very different. So not just the weight of the mask I have to consider, is somebody claustrophobic? What can I do to prevent, any breathing issues or just any conditions that we're not aware of, that could possibly happen wearing a full-on costume and a full-on mask. So we start, like I said, with a wire structure, then create the foam, build around it. Then we carve into each mask to create the features and the facial expressions. Some of the masks I then fabricate and we do dress them up. Others we do house paint and then create all the airbrushing on top. So it's a pretty crazy process trying to get it done.
So how long does it take to make one costume?
We overlap since we're so back to back with our seasons. We have about 3 months in general for me to build a show, which is crazy. So pretty much on average, it's about 3 to 4 weeks per mask and costume. So I have tons of different elements of our characters being overlapped. So we might be sewing 5 or 6 different costumes at the same time. Meanwhile, in different shops, I have 6 or 7 masks going on, and I'm all over the place trying to figure out how cohesively bring it all together.
One thing I love about the costumes is that it's not just the animal or the object, I guess, because it's the animal or the creature, but then they're also wearing a costume. Like the kangaroo is a boxer. And then the rhino is a pharaoh, or was it a rhino? No, the white tiger was a rhino. So how did you decide to make them basically mascots? They have their own costumes on top of
I personally myself, I just love stories, and I think this is such a great show and such a great platform to do something different, and not just stick to the idea of this is just a one-dimensional costume. I love that I get the freedom to create kind of this extension of the characters and also visually stimulate our audience and not just bring forth, like you said, the kangaroo to where everybody knows what the kangaroo looks like, and I could leave it without a costume, but then at the same time to me, with that particular character, I was like, what does it represent? It represents strength, power, fighter, you know, and then from there it was, okay, let's create something really unique and create a boxer with rhinestone gloves and this, you know, intricate childlike face features on the mask. So I try to find a balance between the reality of what I'm researching and then the fantasy world that I would love to bring to the stage.
How closely do you work with the celebrities once they come in and they choose their costumes and then you have to adjust based on their body?
One-on-one, I am pro collaboration. I think it's so important. And like I said, this is such a unique concept. Not only do they get to see artwork that's already bizarre, you know, but then once they see the costume in person, it really does kind of give me that security that I need to then continue on creating a costume, because I need their feedback. I need to make sure that they're comfortable. I need to make sure that the weight is distributed properly. And it does become pretty intimate, you know, because it's something that they'll probably wear once in their life, you know, and I want to make it special for them. And we work very, very hard to just perfect every single element. So when I get that feedback, when I get that collaboration and true honesty of what is it taking to wear this costume, it just helps me that much more to then go ahead and finish up the entire character.
How do they go to the bathroom in it? Do you just have to take the whole thing completely off?
No. Every single build that we do is considerate of all those obstacles, whether it's going to the restroom, whether it's being able to sit down and take off the mask. I make sure everything is designed in pieces. Even if it's like a cylindrical costume or something that's slightly overweight or bigger in nature of fabrication, we do make sure that everything is on easy closures. So right away, you know, they're not stuck in this forever. There is somebody that's always assigned to them that can assist them on and off the stage. And also if there's any momentums where I need to come in and tweak something, I'm right there on the side of the stage.
Which one has been the hardest for you to work on so far, like through all the seasons?
They're all pretty challenging. I think every time we try to learn and kind of trial based and error different techniques, how to create different masks, how to create different expressions. Anytime, of course, we cast anybody that's over 6'6" is challenging for me just because I'm so little. So that becomes a little bit of a kind of like tweaking the costume and being able for me to stand on chairs and do proper fittings and really figure out proportions. So I think probably the most challenging is getting the masks to work, you know, and it's a singing show. So I need to make sure that they can project and really use their vocals correctly. And then it's vision, because that's safety on stage. So I think those parts are probably the most important, and the rest of it I get to play with.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned before you're afraid you're going to run out of animals. So
Right.
What is a night angel?
You know, we wanted to do something that we haven't done in the show, where it was really incorporating a different type of mask, a different type of face. This was somebody that was a graceful knight character, represented not the fallen angel, but something that kind of brought the mystique to life in the evening using different tones. I gradated it from almost like this auburny purple tone to create the idea of a nightlife. And you know, sometimes I just don't even have the best explanation. I think for me it was something different, something unique that we could play around with and kind of create this aura with it being somebody that comes out at night, but at the same time has this like beautiful aura and presence about it, and something angelic and gentle like the angel.
Well, the show defies explanation in the first place, so a night angel fits perfectly.
Right.
Well, lastly, what can you tease about season 4 costumes? Are there more different types of, like, is there a day angel? Like,
Well,
how many animals this time?
we're in the prep stages right now. I'm working hard to figure out new techniques. A lot of it comes from internal ways of construction, new ways of using fabrications. We're working on playing with animatronics to see what can we do that's slightly different. So I'm kind of right now exploring my options and exploring my world of costume design to see what I can bring that's slightly different to the stage, and at the same time create even a bigger, better season for us.
All right, Marina. Well, thank you so much. It was great speaking with you.